What is going on, YouTube? Hope you're doing super well. In this video, I'm going to cover in depth how to, and if you can, lose fat and build muscle at the same time. It's something everybody wants to accomplish, everybody wants to happen. I'm going to talk about, is it possible? I'm going to talk about a calorie blank versus a calorie blank. I'm going to be talking about diapers, whatever diapers has to do with any of this, an intermission, whatever an intermission has to do with any of this. And I'm going to make sure you leave this video knowing exactly what to do in your journey moving forward, okay? So let's dive into the video. All right, so very first and foremost, is it possible to lose fat and build muscle at the same time? Normally those are two opposite ends of the spectrum as far as goals, and what you need to achieve those two things are normally going to be opposites. But I'm here to tell you, it is possible. But first, before we go into how it's possible and what you have to do, let's talk about why there's two different ends of the spectrum normally. All right, so normally, if you're looking to lose fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. That is what has to happen for you to lose body fat. And a calorie deficit just means you are eating less calories than what your body burns. If you want to know how many calories you need to eat to lose weight, I want to put a link right here. Also, I want to put a link in the description of this video below. It's my free fat loss calorie calculator. It's completely free, no tags, no nothing. It's here on YouTube, so you can just go watch that, calculate how many calories you need to lose weight, and that is how you will be able to lose body fat. Now, that is how you lose body fat. How you build muscle is, you build muscle through something called a calorie surplus. This means you're eating more calories than what your body burns, and also combined with a strength training program, that is how you will be able to build muscle. Normally, to lose fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit. That's non-negotiable. That is the only way you will lose fat. And normally, to build muscle, you have to be in a calorie surplus. Because normally, while you're on a calorie deficit, you're not taking in enough extra calories. You're not taking enough calories to maintain your current weight, let alone build muscle mass on top of that. So that's why normally in a calorie surplus, you build muscle, because you're eating more calories than what your body burns, and your body's able to use those extra calories to build lean muscle mass. Now, you don't want to go too high in calories, because then obviously you're going to gain body fat. That's how you gain body fat as well, is you eat more calories than what your body burns. So what I would do is find your maintenance calories, and I would say that if you want a quick example, you can take your current body weight times anywhere between 14 and 16. So get that number and then add to that number 150 to 300, anywhere in that range. This will give you approximately a 150 to 300 calorie surplus, which will allow you to build muscle mass. Okay, so now we have that established. You need a calorie deficit to lose weight. You need a calorie surplus to build muscle. Those are two different things. On one side, you're eating more calories than your body burns. On the other side, you're eating less calories than your body burns. So how the hell can you lose fat but also build muscle at the same time? Let's talk about it. So the first scenario, I wrote diapers. And you probably are like, what the hell does diapers mean? I wrote diapers because if you are brand new to strength training, and I mean like brand new, like within probably, I would say the first around 6 months of strength training, and I mean actually strength training, not doing random home workouts, not doing P90X, not doing Zumba, not doing random HIIT workouts. If you are brand new to following a structured strength training program, you will be able to build lean muscle mass while losing fat at the same time. And why is this? First and foremost, again, the only way to lose fat is to be in a calorie deficit. So no matter what, if you want to lose fat, if you want the lose fat part of this equation, you have to be in a calorie deficit. That's first and foremost. We just talked about normally in a deficit you can't build muscle because your body does not have the extra calories it needs to build lean muscle mass. But if you are strength training, if you are brand new to strength training, you will be able to build lean muscle mass, because in order to build muscle, your body needs a stress that it has to adapt to, right? So for you to build stronger, more defined lean muscles, you need to put a stress on your body that your body has to adapt to in order to grow stronger and build muscles. So if you go from lifting no weight at all whatsoever to then lifting weight 3 to 4 times a week, that is going to be a stress your body has to adapt to no matter what. You will be able to build lean muscle mass in that instance, because the stress you are putting on your body is great enough to see a response. No matter what, your body has to change. Whether you're in a surplus, maintenance, or a deficit, your body's going to build lean muscle if you are totally new to strength training. And again, I say strength training in an actual strength training program for a reason, because if you have not followed a progressively overloading strength training program, you still can have these quote unquote newbie gains to where you can still make progress and still get stronger and still build lean muscle mass no matter what. And if you want to know what I'm talking about as far as a structured strength training program, again, I'm going to link a video right here, right now, and also going to put it in the description below. But I did a video, again, a free video here on YouTube. It's a 2-part series on how to create your own workout program. I give you exercises, I give you reps, I give you sets, I give you how many days a week, all for free. So again, feel free to head to the description below or click that link you just saw above right there. That will tell you how to set up your own strength training program. From there, that is the first scenario. The next scenario is, I wrote intermission. And I wrote intermission because much like if you're brand new to strength training, you will be able to build lean muscle mass with either within being a deficit or in a surplus. If you have taken an extended period off from strength training, and I would say at the very least 6 to 9 months, if you have taken that much time off from strength training, when you come back, you will build lean muscle mass regardless. This is very apparent in people who may have had a surgery or may have just letting life got in the way. They haven't worked out since college or high school. Maybe if you were an athlete and you haven't worked out since then. All of those scenarios can be an example of if you have taken an extended period of time off from strength training, when you restart, if you're following a structured strength training program where you progressively overload, you will build lean muscle mass while being in a deficit. I've worked with plenty of people who have taken, they had kids, they got a new job, they moved, and they just have not been as consistent as they normally were with strength training. It's been 3, 4, 5, 10 years. When they get back to it, I put them in a deficit because they want to lose body fat, but also they see their body changing, they see muscles starting to come in, they see their shoulder muscles, all these things, because they've taken such an extended period off that when you get back to it, again, going back to the first part, you are putting a stress great enough on your body that your body has to adapt to it no matter what. It's a new stress your body has to adapt to. So again, in this instance, you will be able to build lean muscle mass while losing fat at the same time. But again, just remember, no matter what, no matter if you are new or if you've taken time off, no matter what the case is, you will not lose body fat unless you are in a calorie deficit. So remember that first and foremost. Now, there's an extra here I'm going to put in that I did not actually write on the board, and it's something called body recomposition. And this is basically the idea that if you eat around your maintenance calories, which again is just how many calories your body needs to maintain its current weight, if you eat around maintenance calories, you will be able to slowly build lean muscle mass and lose body fat if you're following a structured strength training program. Now, while this isn't wrong, it's just not optimal. And what do I mean by that? I mean, in the span it takes you to build muscle and lose fat at your maintenance calories by body recomping, you could have spent 6 months doing a cut and 6 months doing a bulk, quote unquote bulk, gaining lean muscle mass. And in those 6 months and 6 months, you would have made way more progress than you would have in 12 months of doing a recomp. Because the process of recomping your body is just so long. It's like watching grass grow times 100, especially for the natural, not enhanced, normal gen pop individual. The process of body recomp is so long. So if you were my client, I would definitely say spend some time losing body fat and then spend some time building lean muscle mass, because you're going to see greater results long term as opposed to just trying to eat around maintenance and playing this game of like, oh, well, I don't want to lose that weight, but I also don't want to gain weight. And like, I would rather you just bite the bullet, either lose the body fat or gain the weight. So again, I want to make sure you leave this video. You've learned about calorie deficit. You've learned it is possible. You've learned the 2 ways it's possible. You've learned body recomp. I now want to make sure that you know, leaving this video, where you should probably go in your route on your fitness journey. So if you're one of these 2 scenarios where you're brand new to strength training, again, if it's within the first around 6 months of you starting a structured strength training program, you will be able to build muscle and lose body fat at the same time. Just make sure you're eating in a calorie deficit. Again, if you need to know how many calories to eat to lose weight, head to the link in the description below of this video. And the second scenario is, again, if you have taken an extended time off from strength training and you want to get back into it, you will be able to lose body fat and build muscle at the same time with the same scenario as mentioned above. Beyond that, if you're not that new to strength training, if you've been doing it for a while, if you've been consistent, if you haven't taken a break, you're probably thinking, okay, well, should I lose body fat first or should I gain muscle first? Let's talk about it. All right, so whenever I coach any of my online coaching clients, this is normally the guideline I try to follow. If you are a male, until you get down to, I would say around 12 to 15% body fat, anywhere around that range, I would continue losing body fat first and foremost before you go into a muscle building, muscle definition phase. So that means, again, you have to be in a calorie deficit until you get to about 12 to 15% body fat. And then from there, you will be able to kind of quote unquote bulk back up, or just basically, again, go into a muscle definition phase. And this is because honestly, the leaner you get, the better your body is going to optimize muscle building and optimize those extra calories for actual muscle growth. Because again, when you go into a calorie surplus, you are going to gain some body fat. It depends how big of a surplus you're in. It depends on a few different things, but it's totally normal. It is okay. And again, you know how to lose body fat. You go into a calorie deficit. So when you go into a surplus, the leaner you are, the more those extra calories get used for muscle building as opposed to getting used as stored body fat. So that would be for a man. For a woman, I would say get anywhere between 18 to 22% body fat first, and then from there you can go into a muscle definition phase. And again, it's the same thing with the woman. The leaner you get, the better your body is going to optimize the extra calories you are taking in for muscle growth and not for stored body fat. And especially for women, I would not be afraid to go into a muscle definition phase. I promise you, you're not gonna get big and bulky. I'm gonna put some pictures of my clients here who have gone into muscle definition phases. They're not big and bulky, they look fucking amazing. I'd also quickly add that either for a man or a woman, you can take the route of doing reverse dieting. And this is basically just like you go from in your calorie deficit to slowly working your calories back up to maintenance and then a small surplus so you can get into your muscle definition phase. I did a whole video on reverse dieting. I cover it in depth. I'm gonna link to the video right here as well as in the description below. So if you want to, if and when you get to this point, you can go watch that video and you can make sure you know what to do to reverse your calories back up with gaining minimal body fat in the process. And the last thing I'm gonna say is, even if you are looking to try and build muscle on a deficit, but you're not one of the two scenarios I mentioned before, here's the thing, you will still be able to retain lean muscle mass during your cut, which will give you that tone, lean, aesthetic, defined look you are going for. All right, so if you're not new to strength training, if you haven't taken a bunch of time off, but you still want to make the most of your calorie deficit and make the most of your physique, you want to look a certain way, I got you right here. These three things are going to be what you need to lose weight, but then also on top of that, look a certain way and look defined, have lean muscles, all those things, all right? So first and foremost, you're gonna need to eat high protein, around a gram per body weight. Now, I will say this, if you are weighing 200, 250, 300 right now, you don't need that much protein. What I would say is if you are below 180, I would probably try to get around a gram per body weight of protein. And again, this is in pounds. If you are above 180, I would take anywhere from probably at the very least 0.8 times your body weight in pounds to get how much protein you're eating during the day, okay? So that is gonna be the first thing. The next thing is obviously you need to keep strength training and keep lifting heavy weights. The number one thing I see people go wrong is when they start to try to lose body fat, they tend to lighten the weight up and try to increase the reps. Don't do that. Still continue to follow the same strength training program you were doing beforehand. Still lift heavy, you know, in the anywhere between the 6 to 20 rep range, lift heavy. Try to go to, you know, if you're doing a set of 10 reps, those last 8, 9, or 10 reps should be difficult, hard, challenging reps. It's not just like you're going for a light stroll in the park now. Still try to push yourself in your strength training workouts and keep up your 3 to 4 times a week of strength training. And the very last point I just saw was pointed out by my marker here. Don't go too low in calories, because if you do, you're going to lose lean muscle mass. No matter how high your protein is, you're going to lose lean muscle mass, which is going to slow down your metabolism, which is going to have a negative effect on you long term. But also, if you lose lean muscle mass, when you lose the weight, you're going to become that skinny fat. Yeah, you're skinny, you've lost the weight, but you don't look the way you want to look. You don't have defined arms or legs or glutes. Avoid that. Don't go too low in calories. Take a slower approach. I would say, again, if you want to know how many calories to eat to lose weight, head to the description of this video right now. I give you an exact calculator on how many calories to eat to lose weight. Follow that calculation. You should be good to go. And beyond that, guys, that's really it. That is how you lose fat and build muscle at the same time. I gave you 2 scenarios where you can do that. I gave you body recomposition. I gave you how many calories to eat. I gave you how much, I gave you in the description below. I gave you how many calories to eat in the description below. I give you a way to set up your own workout program, your own workout routine. The biggest overarching theme here is either way, the only way to lose weight is to be in a calorie deficit. You should be strength training 3 to 4 times a week. You should be having your protein high. And you should realize this is a process. It's not going to happen overnight, no matter if you're a beginner or if you're 5 years in. It is not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take consistency. But I promise you, the more you stick to it, the more results you see, the more you keep taking action, you will enjoy it. You'll enjoy the process, which will make you keep going, which will make you see results, which will make you just feel great all around. You'll accomplish all your goals. I promise. We'll talk soon. Thank you so much.